Welcome to your Chala Headchala Senpais. I'm Richard.
And I'm John.
And you know what, John? We just got back from a movie, didn't we?
I think so. I think that's what that was.
Yeah. So we just got back from watching Dragon Ball Super Broly, the movie.
We just actually got off the hype train.
Yeah.
And I might have just not. No, I didn't feel it.
Well, so let's before we get too much into that, let's talk about the some of the good stuff we liked. So for me, I really enjoyed
full spoilers.
Oh yes.
By the way,
full spoilers ahead. So let's talk about the animation. So personally, I thought the animation was fantastic. I would compare it to being as good, if not better, than say like My Hero Academia or One Punch Man. You know, just for me personally, like I was really consistent. Like I don't know, just everything flowed so smoothly. Like I especially like the part where Goku was about ready to fight Broly. You know, start his fight with Broly, and he's just kind of bouncing around. Like,
oh yeah, that was possibly like the best part for me. I don't know what it was,
and between that and Gogeta actually fighting and doing his thing, and I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I mean, John, you.
I mean, I think it was like a roller coaster ride for me because there were times when I was like when Goku, like you said, was getting ready to fight him, like he was bouncing around. I was like, man, I want a Dragon Ball episode to look like that.
Right? Yeah.
That was amazing.
I want a whole series to look
yeah
like this movie. I mean, honestly.
For me, there were times when it was a little obviously CG looking.
Oh yeah, that's
maybe
true.
Maybe there was some times where the animation especially on the fusion part. For me, all of a sudden, like they just showed up where Piccolo was, and I think they just gave that scene to their kids and was like, "Here,
really,
Goku and Vegeta, just draw them, and they're battle worn. Go." And I don't know. For me, it just
see, I just didn't really.
I mean, it could have just been I was so hypercritical of like the movie because I was just trying to.
Right.
Pay attention to these things, but it actually took me out of the movie by how different that particular scene was, and that's normally, and I've been talking about it a little bit for different people, so that was just kind of a deal breaker right there for just that part anyway.
Like for me, I thought the entire movie was very consistent. Although you do bring up the CGI, and I can kind of agree with that, but for me, like. I guess after playing Dragon Ball Fighters, like I was just like, oh well, I'm just basically watching somebody play Dragon Ball Fighters, and I'm perfectly okay with that. So, but I mean, I guess not everybody's like that. But.
Well, I mean, yeah, and those parts weren't bad. They just kind of took me out of it. Like, oh, that's a little bit more polished than normal.
Yeah. That's fair, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I would love to see like if Dragon Ball Super was this quality of animation, then. That would have been fantastic.
Yeah, you wouldn't have fans redrawing early scenes.
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But, so moving on from that, I also did like some of the comedic scenes in there. Beerus as a babysitter, I mean...
yeah.
Okay. Would you have Beerus babysit your kids?
No.
No? Okay.
No. Well, actually, I mean... I don't know if I had a baby maybe because he just seems like he has a soft spot for babies, but I don't know.
But I also enjoyed Frieza's comedic moment, especially when he killed Paragus and he's like, "Oh no, Broly! Look, a stray blast killed your father." And I was like, I see what you did." Although honestly, to his credit, that was really smart. Like,
oh yeah, like he was sitting there going through his mind like. What's set Goku off? And I was like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, it's like, oh, because he wanted to see Broly at his limits and probably wanted to see Broly just kill, Goku and Vegeta. Yeah. So, that's probably the big thing. But, it's really smart and very much in character for Frieza, for sure. But, like that. And
almost a little too comedic, though, I thought, sometimes.
Yeah.
Because normally... Frieza's kind of just, he'll do some dry, corny humor, but he doesn't get too extravagant a lot of times.
I don't know. Like, the part where he's like, I want to grow a full 5 centimeters. I was just like,
okay,
yeah.
that actually was pretty good.
Yeah, that
so
was
I was
good.
like,
Yeah.
and then Bulma wanting to be 5 years younger.
Yeah. It's like
I was like, what's up with this Dragon Ball universe now?
But I don't know. I did enjoy the more comedic parts. But yeah, so I don't know, John. Was there?
Well, what about Vegeta's constant berating of Goku at the beginning, just calling him stupid over and over?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was a good running gag throughout the whole thing, because especially when they got to the fusion, he's like, "Well, do you want to be fused to someone as stupid as me, or whatever?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
okay."
But so let's see. Speaking of fusion, actually, I had another really awesome thing was Gogeta. I mean, now Toei revealed Gogeta like what was it, a month or two
early, yeah.
And it's like I really appreciate that he was in the movie.
Yeah.
And when he was all his scenes were fantastic, like amazing. But like, why did you guys do that, Toei?
I mean, you might as well just have put the end of the movie in the trailer.
I know. It's like I think that would have been much better as a surprise, even if it got leaked.
Yeah.
Like, just the fact that he was in there. You know.
Even like leaking a day or two before, I'd have been more hyped than a couple months later, like,
Gogeta's in there. Yeah, it's like, now the only thing I have to be hyped about Gogeta for is like Dokkan Battle, because I'm sure he's going to be in there at some time soon. I know he's in JP, but with the release of the movie here now, I'm sure he'll come to US at some point. But in any case, but when Gogeta was in there, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Everything like
I'll agree to that. I mean, the one part where they're like break through reality or something.
Right. That was crazy.
Like, I didn't know what was that. I mean, don't I was a little tired when I was watching it, but I had to sit there and go, Did something happen? Did I fall asleep and miss something? Where are we right now?
Right. I like the fact that they showed, or they, I like the fact that they used his Soul Crusher move that he used in, was it Movie 12, Fusion Reborn? That was the final move that he used against Janemba to basically kill Janemba. But,
really?
Yeah, it was like basically just this like rainbow orb type thing that he used. That's the Soul Crusher, yeah.
Okay.
And he defeated Janemba with it. He didn't defeat Broly, although from the way I understand it, the Soul Crusher is kind of like a spirit bomb where like it kills purely evil beings, and Broly, at least in this movie, is not a purely evil being or anything, so Broly was able to survive that. I kind of would have liked to have seen, because of course, Vegito in Super, he used the final Kamehameha, which is kind of a combination of Final Flash and Kamehameha.
Yeah.
It would have been nice if Gogeta, because, Gogeta used Kamehameha, but it was just a normal,
like kind of Gallic.
Well,
Kamehameha
now in Dokkan Battle, or even actually in GT too, he uses Big Bang Kamehameha, where he just kind of sticks his hands out like this. There's like a key ball that forms, and then it puts, bursts of energy out, blast a key out, and so it would be nice to have seen that and make that canon. But whatever, it's fine. But yeah.
Going back to the Soul Crusher. There was a moment where I was laughing at myself because I had forgot about what the final thing was in that movie. I was actually laughing at myself going, when did Gogeta get the Rasengan? Because that kind of reminded me of how he just like whipped that up and...
No, it was... It was
impressive.
It was from the Fusion movie. And I will say, too, like, it was nice that this movie tried to take, like, basically two of my favorite Dragon Ball Z movies and combine them into one. Essentially, because you had Broly and you had Fusion Reborn, and like I said, those are. I always kind of switch back and forth. Although I think the original Broly movie was probably my favorite of the Dragon Ball Z movies, or Dragon Ball movies, really. So, but in any case, was there any like other really really awesome things that you liked about this?
Yeah, I think we kind of hit all of them. I mean, if we come up with more later, I might interject it. But let's talk about other things.
So I don't know, John. Do you want to start us off?
I mean, I don't mind. If we want to talk about some things that just kind of seemed a little off.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already talked about the downside to the animation. I mean, I didn't. There were some things about Broly himself
Yep.
that just were glaring. Like, really, is this our villain? The man child that his dad abuses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has the shock collar on him that the one girl had to steal and break. And
Right.
I mean, it wasn't like it was going to matter anyway, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So here's the thing. Kind of on that point. And I'm probably going to get on a little bit of a rant here. But this was probably the thing that I was disappointed the most about this movie. And so, like I said, I enjoyed the original Broly movie, the very first one. The second one was okay, and the third one not so much. The only good thing about the third
talk about that one.
Well, the only good thing about the third one was the fact that Goku was not involved with the third one all that much. Like, he showed up at the very last scene, but he had no contributions whatsoever in that movie. That was great. Everything else about that movie was kind of meh. But the first Broly movie, like I said, is probably my favorite. Very close second would be the Fusion Reborn. But Broly, Dragon Ball Z Broly, was a terror. Like, he was a true villain. Chaotic evil, if you want to give an alignment to him. Like, unlike the other two movies, he wasn't just a mindless beast, that was going around saying, "Oh, Kakarot or Kakaroto," or whatever, like what a lot of people, think of him as. He, in the first movie, he did say Kakarot or Kakaroto, whatever, but there was more to it than that. For example, of course, this is still fresh in my mind because I actually watched this movie before I watched the Super movie, but in any case. So, for example, I forgot what they were called, the enslaved aliens, Shamo, I think is what they were called. But anyways, there was that one scene where he was looking up at their planet, and he was like, Shamo, you guys, I'm sure you guys really dreamed of going back to your planet. And then he turns around and he throws this ki blast right at them, stops it right at their face, and then flings it back, and you see it go right towards their planet in the distance, and then blows up right in their faces, and it's just like, and he just laughs, just, and you can tell, like, okay, this guy's evil. he's already destroyed the southern galaxy, so this guy is evil. Like, he needs to be stopped. And then beyond that, of course, again, like I said, a lot of people associate him with just saying Kakarot. But one of his best lines, of course, again, from the first movie, Piccolo, I think he calls him like a demon. And then Broly responds, "Demon? I'm no demon. I'm the devil." So that, like, anytime Broly was on scene, like, of course, after he transformed and whatnot. Like, I had chills. Like, this guy was a tried and true villain. He took on the not all the Z fighters, but he took on the major players of the Z fighters, all at the same time, mind you, not like this one-on-one business, all at the same time, and just wrecked them. And to be fair, Super Broly did do a wonderful job. Like, he totally, like, he had Goku and Vegeta on edge, like he.
Oh yeah, constantly.
But
it wasn't like from the start.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just like I don't know. His whole motivation was because his dad told him to fight.
Well, but then in the other movie, you kind of got the motivation of he grew up, or he was a baby beside Goku,
right?
And couldn't stand to hear his crying.
Yeah.
So,
and I understand that a lot of people didn't like that. Okay, whatever. But honestly, I didn't care, because once he got into the legendary Super Saiyan form, it was like, okay, this is where the movie starts, guys. I don't care what just happened earlier in the last 30, 45 minutes. This is where it starts.
Yeah.
And it's
the Brawley movie took like what, an hour and a half to get to that legendary Super Saiyan form finally?
Well, honestly, it took an hour just to get to the fight itself, like actual action
Yeah.
of him fighting. And like, okay, to be fair, it didn't help that we had all those commercials. We had 20 minutes of commercials that we had to sit through. Now it's not.
I think it's just because Funimation hyped that movie so much. Everyone was like, "Hey, let's put our trailers."
I guess so.
In front of this, because
I don't even want to watch Toy Story 4 anymore, just because
we had 2 trailers for it.
Exactly, and the second trailer was really cringy. But again, that's not Funimation's or Toei's fault. So it just was frustrating because it's just like, oh, another commercial. Come on. But then, of course, you had all the backstory.
Yeah, there was a Dragon Ball Minus stuff.
A little bit of that, yeah. Which, okay, first of all, why did they change Bardock's story? Because the original story, he went back to planet Vegeta because he had that psychic predictions or whatever, and he went back there and he's like, "Oh, we gotta stop Frieza," and nobody was listening to it, whatever. And he didn't go back there just because Frieza ordered him to, and he sure as heck didn't go back there because his wife was there.
Well, he just was summoned. He was just like, "Hey, all the Saiyans, get back to Planet Vegeta," and they're all like, "Oh, okay."
It's like, why did you guys need to even have Bardock in there in the first place? Just because they wanted to introduce Gina or Gine or whatever her name was, Goku's mom?
Maybe.
I guess, but it's
they wanted to retell a little more detailed story of Goku's, and they've already had a movie about or a special about Bardock. So,
yeah, it's like, why?
And that one was pretty good.
Yeah, and there was no need. I mean, fine.
Even whenever Frieza attacked the planet, you see Bardock as the only one.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, really? Would he be that dumb?
Now, in the original story, it made sense because nobody listened to him.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, they should have just had him as a cameo, maybe have a little bit of him chit-chatting with Gine, and then that would be it, you know, whatever. Maybe even show, like, Goku's space pod going into space, whatever. I feel like that time could have been, set aside, and maybe we could have just had more action or something. Get to the action sooner, whatever. I don't know, but I felt that was kind of like a waste. And then, I don't know, just like that whole backstory. Like, okay, not the Bardock, the Broly part, him landing on that planet.
That was kind of interesting.
That was interesting. I was like, okay,
I like the new take on that.
Yeah, that was fine. But they didn't have to have Bardock in there. I don't think, or at least not that much of a story for Bardock.
And really, with how much Frieza was actually interjected into that movie, it almost kind of felt like it could have been a Dragon Ball Super Broly movie featuring Frieza,
right? Yeah,
because it was really just a lot of Frieza in the background, just manipulating everything. And
although it was funny though when Goku and Vegeta teleported away or instant transmission away, and Frieza was just like, "What?" And then Broly starts going after Frieza. It's like, "What?" And then he had to entertain Broly for like an hour because
hour and a half or whatever.
They kept messing up their fusion.
And really, I wanted to see new messed up fusions, not the ones that Gotenks messed up. I was like, well,
but see, that was also in Fusion Reborn too, because they at least Fat Gogeta was in the original.
That's right. Yeah, I
the skinny one skinny one is new, but the fat one was from the original movie too. But in any case, but yeah, honestly, just kind of sum it all up, at least from my perspective, the original movie for Broly, the original Z movie, I thought that Broly was, other than his backstory, I guess, I thought that Broly was very well done. Mm-hmm. Super Broly, yeah, I guess it was interesting that he learned as he went.
Yeah.
And
I didn't mind that. To me, that was more like, whoa, this guy's, he was picking up so fast that even Goku and Vegeta were like, whoa, I need to step up my transformation. My level of Super Saiyan. And I was like, whoa. And they'd match it up, and then, they'd level up, he'd match him. They'd level up, he'd match him. And I was like, whoa, this is actually escalating pretty quick.
Yeah, and that was fine. That was fine. And honestly, like I said, they could have taken the Bardock story, like cut that down, and then added more to the time that they would transform and whatnot. But in any case, but yeah, this Super Broly, like you said, he just felt like a man-child, like. And the fact that they just made him like, oh no, Broly, he's only fighting because his dad wanted him to. Like, they tried to make us sympathize with Broly, and I was just like, no.
I mean, that kind of leads into the ending because
Yeah.
I mean that with that girl feeling sorry for him.
Yeah. It's like, okay, we get it. You feel bad for him, but it's like this is not my Broly. This is not my Broly.
Yeah, as soon as I saw her running with the Dragon Balls, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I already knew it. I called it.
Yeah, it just I don't know. I did walk out of that theater.
I actually was thinking she was going to do some kind of other wish. I didn't know what it was, but I didn't think she was going to send him back to the planet he was from, because I don't know how that calmed him down.
Yeah.
He should have been like ravaging that planet if he was still in that blind rage.
Yeah.
But
well, no, actually, I did notice right as Gogeta was starting to charge up his Kamehameha, you could tell that Broly, because for most of that fight when he was in his rage mode, you didn't see his pupils, but towards the end there, as he was charging up the Kamehameha,
getting more beaten.
Yeah, his pupils came back, and you could tell he's starting to like, come back to consciousness or whatever. Like he was starting to get his sanity back a little bit.
No, I did like that point whenever he was losing sanity and his pupils was like.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah,
like,
there was a lot of that. There was a lot of that actually.
Yeah, there was a lot of small little details I did like. Don't get me wrong, there were a lot of things I did like. Especially all the details they put into the fights. Like there was so much more technique than ever seen in a Dragon Ball fight.
Honestly, I think you mentioned this as we were talking earlier, but the part of the fight where we see the fight from Broly's perspective, I thought that was really well done. I also like the part where it shows them going through the ice and like him chasing after them or them chasing after him, whichever. Like, I thought that was really well done because, I mean, it kind of shows people going through mountains and through whatever in other parts of Dragon Ball, but not quite in this fashion. So I thought that was really well done.
Kind of took notes from other anime that did similar things, felt like.
So, I mean, I'm not going to say that this movie was terrible or anything like that, but I did feel pretty disappointed walking out. Like, I guess maybe I just overhyped myself a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we I think we went in on a big hype train. Like this is going to be great, and we were promised great things.
And there was some good things.
We actually kind of escalated pretty good. Like, wow, this might actually be really awesome. And then that train just went everywhere.
Yeah. But
and then that ending happened where we're back on the planet and Goku's showing up. Hey, Broly, let's be buddies.
Yeah, it's like, oh, here we go. Honestly, and I was talking to a friend of mine too just before you showed up, but I told he was like, well, they're just setting up for more possible Broly encounters later on. And I don't
want another Broly after this.
Yeah, honestly, I don't either.
I mean, sure, if he shows up and he's like, okay, I'm gonna lose control so you can train. Sure. Do an episode. I don't care. Don't make another movie out of it because I don't want this repeated.
I honestly, I would be okay if we never saw Broly ever again. I'm not going to say this movie ruined Broly for me, but at the very least it ruined Super Broly, Dragon Ball Super Broly for me. So, I don't know, John, do you have anything else that you want to add to it?
The only thing I can say is they're probably going to, because they didn't hit Ultra Instinct Gogeta.
Yeah, that's true.
That might be a thing.
And actually, no Ultra Instinct or no Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta. So, which honestly, I was actually they actually mentioned something about that, like close to the time that the movie was announced in the first place, or at least close to the time that Broly was first announced. I think, and now that I remember this, I believe the original antagonist for this movie was supposed to be like the original Super Saiyan God or something. And it wasn't supposed to be Broly. It was supposed to be the original Super Saiyan God. I kind of wish that they would have stuck with that instead of going to Broly. It
was surprising that both of them started off in God form, the red hair. And I was like, really? Why would they default to this? Normally
what
they
are you
just...
talking about
against Broly.
No. Vegeta started off in his base form.
Yeah, but I mean, they didn't just jump to blue like they do in a TV show.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Because it was like... The red only really showed up a handful of times. After they got blue, they were just like, well, once you're blue, you just never go out of it almost.
Right. Well, supposedly the red form, at least according to the manga, the red form takes up less stamina. So that's why they sometimes will default to the red.
One thing I did want to point out, because I thought this was so weird, was the part where Goku takes Broly and tries to Well, he puts him in a key lock.
Yeah, what was that? Where
Like,
did that come from?
Did he get force powers?
I know. It was like,
And he just like, I know this isn't you, Broly.
yeah.
And I was like, what just happened? And then all of a sudden Broly learns it and he locks Goku, and I'm like,
yeah, it's like, what's going on?
this is not my Dragon Ball.
I mean, it was interesting, but it just kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah.
There was a couple times where I was like, is that something new they're just kind of making up?
Yeah, I was like, what's going on? But,
I mean,
yeah,
stuff like that just really, it didn't make for a pleasant experience, because you go into Dragon Ball, you want Dragon Ball things, and I don't mind if we amp them up to 11, but let's just not throw in new things without any reasoning behind them,
right? Yeah.
And then never probably see them again.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah. So I don't know. Was there?
I mean, I think I'm good. I mean, really, overall, like once that movie was over, and I was just sitting there kind of processing it, I just wasn't left with a good taste in my mouth. I was like, it's probably gonna be a while before I want to watch that again.
Yeah.
I mean,
actually, I do want to watch it again, but this time in Japanese.
Okay,
I want to see.
That's fair.
I want to see if that changes
fair.
my opinion on it, because, yeah, the Funimation. Like, I used to love them back in the day, but ever since Team 4-Star, like, I just can't anymore. And especially not after Team's 4-Star, and also after watching it in Japanese. Like, Funimation to me is just like, whatever, I don't even care anymore.
I mean, even with Goku's voice actor sounding the way she does, I still would prefer that.
Yeah, honestly. Or even, like I said, Masako X from Team 4-Star.
So,
but so John, what is your final rating?
Really, it was like a,
yeah.
I mean, I had fun. Don't get me wrong, but by the time it was done, I was done.
Yeah, and I really wanted to love this movie, but I just didn't do it.
Like I didn't mind the other Frieza movies, the Resurrection and whatever. They were. On
that note, I will say I probably enjoyed this movie more than I did those two movies.
Okay.
But as far as my overall ranking of every Dragon Ball movie, this might be in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, it's not top 5 or whatever.
No,
yeah.
But in any case,
but it's not at the bottom. So
yeah, it's true. That's true.
If you want a positive, it's not the worst movie.
Yeah. But so in case, I think that's it for us. What did you guys think of the movie? Do you guys agree with us? I'm actually kind of curious, if I may. For those of you that have watched both this movie and at the very least the original Dragon Ball Z movie with Broly, the very first one, let me know if you liked that very first Broly movie. And then let me know if you guys liked this Dragon Ball Super Broly. Let's just talk about that in the comments, like compare and contrast the two. This is specifically just the first Broly movie. Like, I know the second and third one, like I said, are not very good. But just going by strictly the first Broly movie and just going by the Dragon Ball Super Broly, let me know what you guys think about that. Like I said, let me know what you guys think about the first one. And let me know what you think about this one,
and just the overall.
I've noticed
the movie.
I've noticed a little bit of a trend here. Like, I think a lot of people that didn't like the first one seem to really like this one. Team 4-Star, for example, I watched a little bit of their review on it, and I already knew that they hated the first one. They hated Broly in general.
Yeah.
So, but they seem to really like this one. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment below. Let us know. Sorry, let us know.
Oh yeah.
Let us know what you think in the comments below.
He really wants to know, though.
I really do want to know, for sure.
More than I do, really, honestly. But let us know. Thanks for watching. We're gonna hopefully keep doing more content you like, and we'll see you next time.
Kakaroto!